Please like, share and subscribe to our VK Investments channel and don't forget to click on the bell icon.
So here I'm presenting the leading 5 establishments in Indian automobile aggregator industry. Okay, so first we should know what is actually a cab aggregator industry. Okay, the online taxi service offers
Speak
customers with
loudly,
mobile.
yeah.
Okay, sir.
Yeah,
Is my voice audible now? Hello.
Not like how with you are speaking. Okay, you speak near to the mic. Yeah.
Yes, and I'm literally speaking very close to the mic.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, the cab aggregator industry comprises of online taxi service that offers via GPS or GPRS. So we have like organized cab services and unorganized. So here we are in this study, we are going to study about the current scenario, financials, market capture, funding, growth rate, business model, revenue model, and go-to-market strategy also. So I can continue now.
Yeah.
Yeah. The companies covered here are Ola, ANI Technologies Private Limited, Uber India Systems Private Limited, Meru Mobility Tech Private Limited, Carzone Rent Private Limited, and Savari Car Rentals. Okay, so I can just skip that part. It's a lot of information. Yeah. So mostly the objectives of the study is to present the overview of the taxi market industry, like how it works and what exactly it comprises of, the analysis of financials, the analysis of their market share location-wise, analysis of their total funding and resultant growth in terms of valuation, comparison of their business models, and comparison of their revenue models. So here we can see that the components of taxi industry are organized and unorganized. Where in organized, we have cab agencies, partnership models, ownership model, web-based model, and then we have cab aggregators that we are going to study further. Then in unorganized, we have individual owners, small travel agencies, car agencies, and individual agencies. So I'm going to skip that part because that's a lot of information that is just for knowledge. So mostly coming to the figures, we have the growth trend. The Indian taxi market size was estimated at 1.9 million taxis, estimated to generate 10 to 11 billion dollars in 2019. Here, the most of the part is for 91% is acquired by unorganized sectors, and only 9 to 10% is acquired by organized sector. So we can see that Ola, Uber earn 78% of their revenue from this budget segment rides, and they charge 20 to 25% commission on every ride. Like we can say that Ola and Uber accounted for over $400 million, $400 million rides to 260 million rides, as in case of Ola and Uber respectively, each. And the figure have went up by 12% here. Where Ola and Uber have almost 6.9, we can say that 6.5 to 7 million active users respectively. So we can say that these are the huge market leaders in this industry. The passenger car market leader with is Ola, mostly with 51% market share. But however, Maruti has also launched their cars here so that they can get their Swift Desire too, which is mostly now not acquired by general public, to the cab aggregator industry. So moving over to the financials, we have Ola, which has experienced a 37.7% of spike in their operating revenue by earning over 2,543.63 crore rupees, as they have filed with the MCA. We can say that three-fourth portion of the revenue has come from commissions and convenience fees where they charge it. And moving over to all other, we can hereby see the ratios of Ola, where we can generally ascertain that return to equity investors is definitely not profitable with minus 27.22%. So definitely the return is not good. Fixed and current assets have been reduced by over 35%. Here we can see that. And trade payables have been reduced by 36%, over 36%, and trade payables have increased by 118.60, which means that company has to make relevant provisions to collect revenue from data. It cannot just increase that, because 118.60% is a higher percent. We can say that. Also, the net worth has increased by 5.8%. So all in all, we can say that company is in growing state. Coming to Uber India Systems Private Limited, we can generally switch over to the figures. So we can ascertain that their operating income has definitely suffered by 646.93%, which is huge. And this is only because of the pandemic only. So I think we cannot just generally assume that they are working like that way. It is just according to the market situation. And the return in equity, I think it seems fair because it's 25.64%. So I think it seems fair with the industry standards. However, the total assets have been increased by 292.36%. Current assets have been increased up to 4 times as per current liabilities. So I don't think that it is very good, but yeah, it's fine. Trade payables, however, have experienced an increase of over 828.38%, which is a vast increase, and the company should make relevant provisions for that also. Net worth has increased over 800%, which means the company is in growing state and it is doing well. Coming over to Meru Mobility Tech Private Limited, Meru had experienced losses for over 3.57 crore in FY19 to 10.64 crore in FY20. The company has reported a marginal fall in revenue, but a 12% increase in expenses also. Coming over to the figures, we have the operating income, which has increased by over 65%. The current assets have experienced an increase of over 20%. Current liabilities have decreased by 17%. And the current ratio here stands at 0.58%, which I don't think is optimum. The optimum should be 2. So company needs to look onto that part. Net worth has definitely increased by 80%. So I think it's good. And all in all, company is in growing state with the annual revenues between 100 to 500 crore. Coming over to Carzone Rent India Private Limited, Carzone Rent has experienced operating revenues in the range of 100 to 500 crore, which is, I think, in relation to the.
This is operating in which city?
So this is operating generally in the southern areas, like in the southern India part.
Which
it is based in Chennai.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is the other name of Carzone Rent?
So Easy Caps.
Easy Caps. Okay.
Yes.
So that is the name of the company, like Ola, like that.
Yes, this is the name of the company, and most prominently it is known by Easy Caps. We can see that their earning before interest tax depreciation and amortization has increased by 870.42%, which is very good. And net worth has definitely increased by 15.92%. So all in all, the company is in a growing state, but definitely needs to work on their current assets and current liabilities. Like they have been decreasing, their trade receivables payables are decreasing, and their current ratio is not at an optimum state. Coming over to Safari Car Rentals, they have executed a total booking of 3.5 lakhs over all of their 3 product categories, that is outstation cabs, hourly rentals, and airport transfers. So all in all, looking over the financials, we can say that their return on equity is not good because it is negative 55%, and the return is not optimum here. Total assets have been reduced by 27%. Current assets and current liabilities have been decreased by more than 20% here. Current ratio is around 1.58%, which is below 2. So company needs to work on that. Company is definitely not yielding profits here. However, we can say that the earnings before interest, tax, depreciation, amortization have increased by 80%, but the net worth hasn't increased, so the company is not yielding well. So here we can see the overall analysis of their financials. Here the trend line is according to Ola, because that is the market leader. So I've here mentioned the trend line here. We can see the figures of their revenues for 3 years, that is 2016 to 2019. So we can analyze that here. And coming over there, market share, we can definitely switch over to the figures because I think that's very convenient here. Market share, we can definitely assume that Ola has a great market share. Second being Uber, third, fourth, and fifth being like they are all in the same stage: Meru Cabs, Carzone Rent, and Safari Car Rentals. Analysis of their total funding and resultant growth. Ola has raised a total funding of $4.3 billion over 26 rounds. This includes debt financing as well as secondary market also. Their valuation has reached over $6.2 billion in October 2019 when the pandemic hit and the nationwide lockdown was announced. We can say that their revenues have definitely dropped to 95% after the last lockdown was announced in India. This has brought the revenues to $3.3 billion, and the price have been lowered substantially from there. So these are the most active investors for Ola, and this is the cumulative funding over the time, like how they have done. Coming over to Uber, Uber has raised over $25.2 billion in funding over 32 rounds. The market capitalization and valuation has been reached at $78 billion after the funding that they have received in May 2019. Here we can see the share market chart and how the share price is moving on. But this is latest for 24 June 21, so we cannot use it for today as well. However, we can also see their cumulative funding that they have raised over time here. Coming over to Meru Caps, it has raised over $75 million in funding over 3 rounds, and their valuation has reached a whopping total of $1 billion. And definitely, Mahindra and Mahindra is expected to gain a share in it, almost 55% stake. So we can call it about $14.7 million here. Coming over to Carzone Rent, Carzone Rent has raised $77.8 million in 3 rounds. It was like the latest one has been a private equity round, and their latest funding has been $70.5 million. Coming over to Savari Car Rentals, they have raised us $28 million in funding over 2 rounds, and mostly they have their investors being Inventus Capital and Intel Capital. Comparison of the business models, we can say that Ola has 2 customer segments. One, the users of taxi service, and second, the taxi service providers. They act as a mediator between both of them. The major key activities here we can say that is updating about the mobile app on a constant basis, platform growth. Second is managing daily operations. Third is managing relationship with the customers and as well as the drivers that they have. Fourth is government compliance. Fifth is sales and marketing provisions that they do, promotions and all that. Sixth is managing finance, that is raising funds on pricing strategy and like the finance matters, that is altogether different. Second comes to Uber. They act as the same. They have the same business model as Ola. They act as a mediator between the customers and the taxi drivers. Passengers generate the demand and drivers fulfill them. Here we can see the business model canvas in total for Uber. They have the customer segments here, value proposition, cost structure, revenue streams, channels, key activities, and a lot of information that we can get from here. Coming over to Meru Caps. Meru Caps has almost the same strategy of business model as Ola and Uber. It acts as a mediator. However, it has ownership model and aggregator model both. So it gives its own cars for the services, as well as they have their they get fit from the drivers also. Coming over to Carzone Rent, it has over 600 corporates across its 39 cities, and it hopes to at least capture the 10% market share in the next 4 years. So we can say and also we had seen it earlier that Carzone Rent is performing well. So we can assume that it is able to achieve that market share in the next 4 years. So all in all, we can say that there are 2 different models for cab booking. One is the aggregator model, and second is the ownership model. Only Meru Caps is the one that follows both the model altogether. However, Ola and Uber follow the aggregator model. Coming over to the revenue models, Ola has almost 7 streams of income here. One is the trip commission. Second is Ola Money, which follows from Paytm wallet and Freecharge wallet. Third is the in-cab promotions and advertisement commissions that you must have seen whenever you were traveling from the cab. Fourth is the cab leasing program. They provide cab services. They provide cab financing to the driver partner so that they can drive that car and perform their services and charge interest from them. Fifth is the Ola credit card, which is quite new because Ola has introduced a credit card that is Ola Money SBI card in association with SBI and Visa. It provides many benefits to the corporates, so it is doing good here. Then corporate accounts it has. Ola convinced corporate managers and employees to use Ola cabs for their business travels, for which they charge a slightly lower rate here. So Ola earns a higher sales volume from this side also. Seventh, as Vritti also told us that this ANI Technologies has also acquired Food Panda and has entered into the food delivery segment also. Second being Uber. So Uber's business model here is the right service is the only source of income here. And second is the food delivery that Vitti also told us. Like Uber takes around 20% of the fare charges to the customer, and less 80% is given to the driver. The company sometimes charge 1.5 times, 2 times, even 3 times or more based on the demand of the passengers. The trip fare is a combination of travel time, waiting minutes, distance cost, and it makes revenue from the cancellation of rides as well. So it charges around almost whole the amount as the passengers are canceling their cabs. Coming over to Meru cabs, they have two streams of income. First is from the revenue of the cabs. That is that the driver is need to pay the company approximately 1200 rupees per day, and for each car on the road it is 1200 per day only. Second is the advertisements on and within the car. This is another source of income for Meru cabs. Coming over to cars on rent, here I have only summarized the revenue streams in form of a pie chart where we can see that the income from car services, car rental services stands at 67%. Second comes at the income from radio taxi services, that is 19%. Coming over to third as being operating lease. Fourth being income from self-drive services, and fifth being advertisement services. And here also stands from fleet management, and other operating income stands at 1% here. Coming over to Sawari car rentals, it stands for 4 types of income streams. First is outstation round trip rentals. Second is intercity, one-way intercity drops. Third is flat priced airport transfers. You must have seen on the airports, they have their booth where you can register and directly you can go into any location from there. Fourth is the hourly rentals, for which they charge 4 hours per 40 kilometers, 8 hours for 80 kilometers. Like they have their varying prices for that. So here I have given a few implications that the cab aggregation industry can definitely take into account, and it can result into their growth. First is to facilitate the customers who are not used to technology. Like many of the people here in India do not use smartphones and mobile internet, even especially of like quite an older age. So we need to find a way to get that a customer also here. Second is to bringing in the most drivers into the network. Not a lot of drivers here are properly trained. Like we have seen, there are many incidents which involves drivers being very rude to the customers and not helping with their loyalty and the brand of the cab aggregator industry. So we need to train them. Third is that companies have to look at the ways that they are increasing the number of kilometers served per day to increase their revenue, because they are hiking the prices suddenly, and this is getting the customers being lost here. Fourth is that the concept of travel miles for loyal customers should be there. Like loyal customers should be provided some privilege over on the new ones. Fifth is the ride sharing concept. I think that the ride sharing concept is not very prevalent between the customers here. So the carpooling concept is need to be told to the customers here. Here we have here I have summarized with a conclusion, and I think it's more of like theoretical and knowledge. It is just for knowledge. Coming over to the references, these are my references that I have used. So this is all.